longer speech. Please welcome Robert as he presents his speech titled, I Love It When a Plan Comes Together.
Oh, it's yes. Oh, thank you. Yes. Well, everyone, thank you very much for coming. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Robert, hold on. Put you on record here. That's the problem with getting started late. You're not really ready when it's happening.
And he'll need to be mic'd up, I guess, too.
What's that for?
Oh, that's a big little small baby you put in. Oh, I can see more as part of the speech.
Oh, okay. You're on.
Everyone, thank you very much for coming out to listen to my speech tonight. Tonight, my speech is based on the motivational strategies pathways path, and I'd like to tell you some very interesting things. Have you ever watched the 18 TV series or the movie from about 3 or 4 years ago? I love watching that show, and there's a scene from Hannibal, the main character. I love it when a plan comes together. Well, guess what? Apparently today, my plans didn't quite work out the way I expected them to. Make a plan to get up in the morning, try to get ready for work, drop your neighbor off at work, and then after you got your neighbor off work, wait a minute now, I think I better turn back and go back home and hit the restroom real quick because there's a slight problem. For breakfast, I had to eat some dinner for breakfast, and I loaded it down with hot sauce, so I had to go do an emergency trip back home and went to sleep for a few hours. Then my coworker called me up and I had to go help her out because her day didn't work out quite the way it wanted to also. So the strategy of having a plan and it falling through where you want to every day, not quite the way you'd like for it to be. A few minutes ago, I was just driving along the road and I passed 2 to 3 different car accidents. Now, there's some fire trucks, police officers out at 2 of the ones I saw. Hopefully no one got hurt. So another strategy I have is try to drive slower and hopefully get out earlier next time. First, let me start by mentioning one of my favorite people I like to hear stories about is a person named John Maxwell. He's a leadership guru who knows a lot about leadership and how to get people motivated. He has the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, and there is one main one that I particularly enjoy. That one is the law of empowerment, in which you encourage the people under you to do the best they can by giving them the power to accomplish the tasks and goals that they set for themselves, and hopefully accomplish the goals that you set for them. And hopefully you actually use motivation to encourage the person to accomplish the task. But before we get deeper into motivation, let me mention one quick thing to you. Raise your hand if you ever heard of a person named Jim Markwood, who's one of our, no, not Jim Mark, but Jim Markwood. Yeah. And he, I remember back to us, he tells great stories about a mule. Now, a mule, you can take him over the water, you can't make him drink. You can't motivate a mule, you're going to just wait for him. Now, raise your hand if you know Jim Howard, who's a former member of this club. Now, Jim Howard, one of my favorite people, because, hey, we used to joke about USC and Clemson, and he used to have some pretty good jokes about Clemson. I would laugh at with him, and I'm able to say too much bad about USC because it speaks for itself. But, I just say that joke because he's got here with us right now. But just remember, there's one important thing he told me, and it was very interesting. Potentially, you can't motivate people, you can only inspire them to do something. Now, hopefully, that statement is partially true because if you can't motivate people, that makes your job as a leader very difficult. And it's challenging to motivate highly motivated people. Now, I noticed something very interesting. I would say that each of you are very motivated because you actually came out to the meeting tonight, and the fact that you actually joined the Toastmasters Club means you're highly motivated. So to motivate someone that's highly motivated is a challenging thing. That's why I like the law of empowerment. If I allow you to use your skills to the best of your ability to do the part that you feel that you contribute to whatever task you will do, I have a better chance of motivating you because you're already motivated to do something. It's just a matter of allowing you to do what you want to do. There's several ways to motivate people. One way to motivate somebody is with money. Those ways with praise. Those ways with public recognition. You can also motivate people with more responsibility. And you can also motivate people with promotion. Warden, are you a division director this year?
Yes.
Yeah. Guess what? You did such a fantastic job last year. You got promoted to division director after the election. So, very good job.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, hey, let me ask you one more question. Did your predecessor tell you that being a division director is going to be easier than being an area director? Or did somebody named Robert tell you something like that?
Oh, probably more Robert.
Well, imagine the guy named Robert, he didn't lie to you. He just didn't tell you the whole thing. That basically, you become a secret area director as a division director. So that means that you get to lead a team of highly motivated people, but you have to be able to back them up in case they fall short of meeting the goals that you set for them or that the higher people in the organization set for them. But hopefully, you're having fun being a division director, and maybe you might do it again in the future. So that's one way of motivating someone is, hey, you did a fantastic job. I'd like to see you move up in the ranks or redo area director again. Teacher, you have to be super motivated because you became the district sergeant arms or the logistic manager. Yeah, that's a challenging job. It's so challenging and interesting. In the past, there's a few people, for example, there's Willie Brown. He was the area director and the sergeant arms person at the same time. But you know, he got motivated. His wife.
Okay.
You know, she said, "Hey, I need for you to do this for me." Bam. So once again, you just need somebody who believes in you to motivate you, and you end up doing a lot more than what you expected to do. Now here's one that's very interesting, the concept of money. Imagine this. I'm from South Carolina. I grew up in the country. I'm a poor little country boy. Now imagine, oh yeah. Like I like to say y'all, I like my cornbread. I have no problems about snakes as long as they're far away from me. Here's the thing about being poor is that poor, the definition, well, one definition of it is the absence of money. The way you get motivated is if someone asks you to go work for them, well, I don't like to have no money in my pocket, so I think I better go work for this person, even if it's out on the farm. So there were several people who had their own land and allowed me to work with and learn a valuable skill. And what that is that either you're gonna work hard or you're gonna work smart. Standing out in that sun for a few hours, it's all right. If you like heat, it's all right if you like exercise. But you combine heat and exercise together, no shade, you start learning something very quick. I think I better work hard in school and try not to have to do this for a living unless I own my own property like they do. Now, hopefully that's part of the lesson they was trying to teach me. The other part would be like, literally, hey, you help pick those field peas, you sell some, and you get take some to eat, some for yourself. Great. Or you might load up a load of wood. You got a pickup truck. You got to fill the truck up with wood. Now, if you don't do your job good, you learn something very interesting. That load of wood you're filling up is a load that your grandmother had paid for. And all you have to do is get it loaded up. So if you get short-changed your boss, you short-change your grandmother and yourself. You literally need to use that to keep yourself warm. So once again, motivate you somewhat. You don't get paid for it, but at least you got something that's equivalent, good warm place to sit by in the cold. Now, raise your hand if you're a member of Toastmasters International. Yeah. Now, a few years ago, I used to be division director under Philip Woody, and he said one of the most motivational things I ever heard a district leader say. And it was very interesting. And what it was is that, hey, if I could pay you, I'll pay you $50,000 a year for being an area division director, because that's a lot of work that you put into it. Now, well, we don't get paid inside of Toastmasters, but it's worth knowing that, shoot, if I'm going to get paid that type of money and you appreciate it that much, no problem. I'll serve out this whole year to the best of my ability. And sure enough, that's what I did. But it is worth knowing that there is a value associated with your time, because if time has a money equivalent, the amount of time you spend trying to be a leader in any organization is time you could have used just to sit down, watch TV, read a book, spend time with your family, or just do nothing, just kind of just sit there and like, just kind of like, I don't know, do nothing. Also, Toastmasters have another thing. You don't get paid with money, but you do get paid with public recognition. Douglas, let me ask you an interesting question. Did you get recognized for accomplishing 100 CCs yet so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Not by the district, but by my club president.
Yeah.
I got a watch fob that has Toastmasters emblem on one side and 100 CCs on the other side.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Well, Douglas, I'd like to tell you congratulations again, because I know I verbally told you several times previously. I'd like to recognize you one more time. That's quite a good accomplishment. And the reason why I mentioned is we was going to try to do a special guess the number of speeches Douglas did to earn this 100 CCs. Raise your hand if you know how many speeches Douglas did to complete the 100 CCs. Ah, correct.
Okay.
1,000. Yeah.
I did way more than that. That's
Yeah, that's why.
But we're literally going to use that as a PR promotional item to come out to Continental Mastercrafters and go, hey, come out to our meeting and try to guess the number of CCs, speeches that he did to earn the right of saying he completed 100 of them. So Keisha got it in a matter of seconds. So she must be a math major or engineer.
I got some questions for her later. We'll see how much of math.
Now, one to several principles related to motivation. One principle is that people prefer rewards over punishment. Imagine you work hard and you do something, but what if when you get done doing it, instead of the person telling you thanks, they tell you, man, didn't quite do the job the way it could have been done. Or, what did you do? You did something, but it wasn't what I was expecting. Well, hey, that's interesting, but that can kind of dampen the person's motivation for volunteering or doing things again in the future. Another thing that would be interesting, picture this. What if I give you an award and you didn't actually do anything to get it? What if I gave you the special double plated DTM award? What that means, you get it for completing 5 DTMs, and you haven't completed one, but I already give it to you before you can do one of them. Nope. So once you do that, that's going to demotivate them from trying to get just one DTM. If I'm giving you a level 5 DTM, and the person didn't really complete one. Now, how would you like to do meaningful work when you actually do stuff? Oh yeah. I'm on my job. Some of the work I do is boring. But it pays the bills. It pays the bills. So I have to go do it. But otherwise, if it wasn't for the fact you need to be awake to actually do your work, I'll probably be asleep. Another way to motivate people is to have your followers actually believe in you. Let's suppose y'all come up with a concept of we're gonna have a party, or at least a party type atmosphere. And I want you to come out to the event and make the party a lot more better. Now raise your hand if you know about the potential party event on next Saturday at Palmetto Mastercraft. Oh yeah, that baby's gonna be sweet. Raise your hand if you like baklava.
Like what?
Oh, baklava is the Greek
baklava.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think I like it. Cause I was talking to my boss about it. I was, hey, what do you think about if I was to buy some baklava and give it out at the meeting here tonight? And I was just about to go buy it. One problem. I was running late. And also, my wallet was running on E. I got paid last week. Another thing to help keep people motivated to work with you is they'd like you to act like a leader, or at least be the best leader that you can be based on what your skills and abilities are. Now take, for example, if you got a person who's the leader, but dudes are always late, sometimes forget stuff. Sometimes, hey, they remember stuff, but it's a week later. They didn't forget it. They just remember it later than expected. Now, would you want to follow that person? Nah, you might be a little bit reluctant. At least up front, you would be. Actually, they will let you know what the plan is weeks ahead of time. So even if they mess up, the thing you still succeed, even though the leader himself didn't quite do his part of it. Recently, I had started working on the motivational strategies pathways path. I started it just like about maybe 6 months ago. I was looking at, hey, that seems like it's gonna be pretty good work on me. Because Just White was here, laid out the agenda. Like, well, here's the next 12 months. Everybody choose a slot when you want to give a speech on. I was looking at the calendar. I saw the number 1212. I said, man, that number is made for me, baby. Because it has a good balance and look to it. It's the day before Friday 13th. It gives me 6 to 8 weeks, plus a few more months to get ready for the speech. I was like, right on, very good. That motivated me to volunteer to do my speech about the motivation strategies. It gave me enough time to actually complete that path. And guess what? If things were just a little bit different, in fact, 2 more weeks, I would be completed with it. Now, it's only just about 2 items away from actually completing the path. So one of the things I have to do is, I did the first of 3 parts. Yesterday, I gave a speech. I told them about the event that I'm going to do, in which it's going to be a super duper tabletop event, in which we're going to have a way for the new members and hopefully the old members to break the ice and get to know one another. One part of it may be we'll grab some yarn or shoestring, and we're gonna wrap it around your finger. We're gonna give you a table topics, and basically you got until you unwrap it to be done with whatever you're gonna say. So essentially, imagine if you're a person who can unwrap your finger real fast, you might be able to get down your table topics in 30 seconds. If you're a person who is a slow unwrapper, well, hey, it might take you 10 minutes to unwrap a 2-foot-long shoestring around your finger. Now, then you got the people who are smart and cheaters. Now, yeah, what they're gonna do is something very interesting. They're gonna start unwrapping it fast, and then they're gonna realize, hey man, I can't complete my complete thought in the time it's gonna take me to get done unwrapping the yard from off my finger. So what they're gonna do is maybe stop right before they get done unwrapping all the way, finish what they're talking about, and still meet the requirements of the rules. That's not cheating. That's actually paying attention to what the rules are. Now, don't tell them I told y'all that, but technically you can do it. You're still within the rules. Another thing, I just gave you a heads up. I don't know which club I'm going to do it in yet. I have to work with the VPs of the different clubs. Unfortunately, I'm a VP in 3 clubs, but I can't go use up the slots that hard for myself. I want other people to be motivated to actually work on their pathway projects. That's the other thing about it. You have to be willing to give credit and opportunities to other people. Tonight, I want to share with you some things about me, myself, and I, not the trifecta of myself. Because I have multiple ways of looking at things. Each one of those different now represents a different facet of a mindset. And I just want to let you know that I try to stay motivated. That's why you see me in multiple clubs and serving in multiple officer roles. The next thing I'm working on is trying to get more people to actually join so I can cut back on the number of officer roles. That gives me a lot of motivation to try to do that. But something I'm realizing is very interesting in my Millennium Toastmasters Club, it seems as though we have a better chance of getting people to say they want to join, and we only got like 1 or 2 of the actual club members at the meeting. That gives the club members more time to talk to the guests and tell them about the program. We have a full complement. You spend so much time with the meeting, you may not give the guests everything they need to say, hey, I want to join your club as opposed to another. They join a club somewhere, it just may not be ours. And if I want to become a person who has fewer officer duties, I may have to use that technique of getting more members to actually join. But yeah, thanks for joining. Please become a club officer.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, may we have a timer's review? Not yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Give up too easy. Our speaker spoke for 21 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I don't think we'll take a break. Does anyone need to run to the restroom or anything? I think can we just press on since we'll press on, okay. We're now going to have an interactive discussion, which will be led by our speaker, Robert Bachman. So come back up, Robert.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Let's see. I think the questions I want to do will be very simple.
I'm going to do this, a green light at 10, a yellow light at 12, and a red light at 14. I'll time individual speeches on 9 o'clock.
Great. Douglas, thank you very much. Let's see. right now we have reached the halfway point in the Toastmasters year, and some people are starting to lose steam as far as staying motivated and working towards their projects or their goals for the year. My question is, what suggestions do you have that you can tell someone how to stay motivated to keep pushing forward so they can complete the goals before the end of the year?
Repeat that question.
Oh, like right now we're at the halfway point, basically almost 6 months into the Toastmasters year. And if you notice, there's a lot of people who kind of running out of steam. It's only halfway. They're starting to slow down and kind of losing their energy as far as coming out to the meetings or their goals inside of the clubs. Sure, it's only 6 months, but we still got 6 more months to go. What suggestions, if any, do you have? Did you tell someone to help motivate them to try to work harder in the second half of the year, or try to re-energize themselves before the year is over?
Okay, I'll take that one.
Yes.
Thank you, Robert. Interesting question that you have asked, because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing with one of my clubs, because they have completely run out of steam to the point that they don't even do the agendas now.
Oh, wow.
So I'm actually going to be meeting with the president, and I didn't want to tell him that our club meeting was so egregiously not completed because we had no one on the agenda. But I said, how do I say it in a more efficient and effective way? And I said, one of the things that I was going to do is say, we as a club have 6 more months. We've learned what didn't work. Now we have 6 more months to kind of have a clean slate and really push forward, so that it's not what we didn't do, but what we still have to look forward to. And so all the things that we were going to do, what we wanted to do, what we couldn't, all the people we wanted to have, put that in the past. We actually have an opportunity to do exactly what we want. We have 6 months to turn this club around so that it is exactly what we said it was going to be, but it takes a plan. I love it when a plan comes together. It takes a plan. So let's sit down and start planning. Mr. Table Topic Master.
Didn't it? It's because I love that statement also, because that's why you see me with a lot of paper. I'll sit down, have a calendar, draw on it, cross out dates, work out plans and permutations about what I could potentially do. And then I maybe look at the DCP report and see, well, hey, now as a VP, what can the club potentially do? Because in 2 months, we'll have that interesting meeting with the area director, and hopefully not the division director. Don't mean anything by that word, but I'm just saying, it's like, because we're going to get to the point where we're going to start doing the calculations about what we're going to do to try to be ready for April. April is 2 months before the end of the year. But that's an interesting goal that many clubs set for themselves. This is the interesting question. It's better to make plans to get stuff done early as opposed to getting stuff done later or right on schedule. In so much as in Toastmasters, I've ran into at least 2 to 3 clubs that already said, hey, we want to be 10 for 10 by April 30th. Not May 30th, not June 30th, but by April 30th. So that way, they have plenty of time to hopefully get things done. If you don't make the plan, you still got other time. I guess my question is, tell me if you know of any clubs that are Douglas.
Thank you, Robert. I love it when a plan comes together. As you all know, my home club, even though I live in Sumter, my home club is Saturday AM Toastmasters. And when they changed the new Distinguished Club program back in 2000, we became a President's Distinguished Club that first year. And we only had 9 of the goals met that first year. And we made a commitment from that point forward, we would never have fewer than 10 goals. And we always strove to get those 10 goals at least by the end of June. And then we said, well, you know, that we don't get bragging rights if we do that. I mean, you know, that by that time everybody's forgotten about it because everybody's closed in on that. But if you get it before the conference, well, then you got a chance to stand up and be recognized at the conference. So we now had a new goal that we had 10 for 10 yet again by the end of March, so that we would have those in time for the conference. And you got to have it by the end of March because our conference was usually in April, and you had to have time for them to tally all that stuff, get it printed in the books and all that stuff. Well, this year I am happy to say it will be our 21st year of being a President's Distinguished, the 20th consecutive year as 10 for 10, and we have already, as of 1 December, finished 9 of our goals. The only goal we have yet to accomplish is to show up for TLI, which is everybody's got that one. So even if everybody else had 9 goals met, they'd have to wait until TLI to get that last check mark. So that's a really nice position to be in. If you've ever been ahead of schedule on your planning, it's wonderful, and it's so relieving to have all your ducks in a row and your goals met prior to the deadline you set. And have a very simple thing like, all we got to do is have 4 people show up. Of course, we expect more than that because we expect all 7 of our officers. In fact, we pay for our officers to go to the training so that we will be sure they get there. And then, of course, we want other members to go as well. And we usually have 10 or 15 members at TLI, even though we've only got 7 club officers. So and most of my other clubs do that as well. My Sumter club has good attendance at that as well. And both Sumter and Shaw were 10 for 10 last year as well. So I was very pleased. Now this year I'm president of 2 clubs which are failing. And so I got to figure that one out. One club's doing great. I love it. When a plan comes together.
Douglas, thank you very much for that response.
7 seconds.
Uh,
You timed it on something.
I couldn't figure that out.
Right. Stop. And 0.
let's see. If you notice, both Deanna's response and Douglas' response, both of them fill up under, like, Deanna's response fill up more up under, you want the leaders to act like leaders, so you want the club leaders to come up with a plan so you can lead the club to success. And then with Douglas, his concept would be based on more of trying to get positive public recognition and praise for the club, because that's a very good accomplishment of trying to get your 10 goals accomplished way ahead of time. And I guess this would be my final thing that I want to say is kind of be a play on words. Y'all ever heard of something called ducats? You know, like Doug said, the concept about getting your ducks in a row?
Oh, ducks in a row.
Yeah, so you got your ducks walking on the road. Yeah, there's something special about it. If ducats is related to money, there's districts incentives to reach your goals as early as possible so you can actually get free virtual money, if you will, for your club. And that's another incentive of why you like for your club to get its stuff, to get its goals accomplished as soon as possible, because if you get free money, for example, like with us, if there's a chance that we could get some free money, that would help out greatly since we don't take in dues. And if you're a club that does take in dues, hey, free money still doesn't hurt, as long as you don't have to pay taxes on it. Madam Toastmaster.
Okay, Robert, we still have some time. That's our 10-minute mark. I have a question for you. In your presentation, you said there were 7 steps to motivating others.
Oh,
What were they?
I had to write it down.
Couldn't you have it on your notes?
Yeah.
I got 6.
I wrote down 4 of them, and I was trying to figure out the others too.
6.
Praise, money, responsibility, and promotion is all that I
I
picked
got
up.
praise and promotion. What else you got?
I got time, public recognition, reward over punishment.
More responsibility.
Public recognition
Oh, public
Time,
recognition, okay. Public,
and
And give out rewards to the earth, to the justified positive rewards. Not so if someone
I
Don't-
missed
don't-
the
don't-
7.
don't just give out awards to people that have no meaning.
that would be public recognition.
so let's see, I have praise, money,
You
responsibility.
said money,
Yeah, he
Yes.
said money, that was early
Yeah,
on.
that-
praise, money,
Responsibility, promotion,
Mhm.
public recognition.
Time.
What's the time?
Like pressure, I think.
Oh,
pressure.
time
Like time can
constraint.
motivate people
Right.
Okay,
because
time constraint.
and when we kind of talked about that, right?
Okay.
Time constraint, or
Time
that's what I had. I don't know. I was just writing it down. I didn't know that he said 7.
I didn't hear.
I didn't hear 7 either.
That's what. Oh,
Was that in,
Yeah.
that was on the flyer? Was that on the flyer?
No, I think, no.
Well, okay.
okay, call that 12 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That was actually 13 minutes.
13. Maybe have the official time. I hear it discussed.
Okay, we had, Diana had 1 minute 35 seconds, Douglas had 2 minutes and 22 seconds. And Robert had an indeterminate amount of time babbling at the end there. He had a total of 13 minutes for that session. Somehow this thing got stuck on a 30-second countdown. When you push the button, it would count 29, 28.
I couldn't get it back to the 0, 0.
I finally got it back to 0, but you have the dial turns and that changes modes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's messed up, man.
Okay, that's why I was like, okay, look, he ain't waiting for me to figure this out. Let me know.
Oh, we're still rolling, actually. You got all that on video.
Before I introduce our general evaluator, I've enjoyed serving as your Toastmaster today. And are we ready to move? Our general evaluator today is Keisha Long, Advanced Communicator Bronze, Advanced Leader Bronze. She's been in Toastmasters for 3 years, and the current offices that she holds are VP Membership for 2-Notch Toastmasters, VP Education, Bowmasters, VP Public Relations, Midlands Leadership, and she's also the District 58 Logistics Manager. Why did she join Toastmasters? To learn. Her hobbies and interests, and something special about herself, is that she loves tennis, water aerobics, and music. And please welcome Keisha Long as our general evaluator. Did I read that right? Okay.
Tennis, water, aerobics, and what?
Music.
Oh, yeah.
Music.
I'm liking it all. I'm liking these tablets. Just looking at them.
I pity the fool.
That was my line.
I'm also working on something that I recently read about, and it's opening statements. And there are 4 different types. That was, I consider, a bold statement. Or I could have asked a rhetorical question, or just boil it down to the nitty gritty or capturing an element of mystery. So I'll try to do one of the other three later. Not necessarily tonight. All right, so as part of the general evaluator's job, I am going to be introducing helpers, and the first one would be Miss Diana to evaluate the speech of Robert Bau. Please welcome Diana to the Keisha.
Robert, great afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Great evening, shall I say. Your speech, prepared to speak professionally out of the motivational strategies path, was an elective. Your title was, I love it when a plan comes together. When I look at this evaluation form, it says, looking at the Toastmasters evaluation form, it says, what did you excel in? What may you want to work on? And what should you challenge yourself? Let's start with the first, and that is you excelled at. You excelled at connecting, in my opinion, with the audience directly through your questions, and getting them involved. You asked Warda about her experience. You tagged Keisha for some questions. You brought up people, or shall I say, called back people that we as senior experienced Toastmasters in this district know, Jim Markwood and Jim Howard, even though he has passed on, and identified some special characteristics about them. So I like that, and that really got us, I think, motivated to listen to your speech, to really see who else you were going to talk about. You even brought, in your example, Douglas into your conversation when you were asking him about his award and recognition for his 10 or 100 cc's, right? So I thought that was really a great excel area of your speech. When it says, what do you want to work on? You spoke about a lot of things. One of the things I felt, the very start was the intro. I got lost in the intro because the intro was really about you versus your speech. The intro should prepare the audience for what you're going to talk about. Specifically, since this project is preparing to speak professionally. It's great to give your accolades on what you being a Toastmaster and the experience you have, if it has value in your conversation or the discussion that you're trying to bring about as an expert, so to speak. But I got lost in it, and I was wondering, okay, what is he going to talk about? Particularly with your speech, I love it when a plan comes together. And you started off telling us about how your plan, you had a plan, but you egregiously fell way off of that execution of the plan, right? I think that a better title might have been several ways to motivate people, or motivation on steroids, or motivation trifecta. Because you had all of those clubs and you brought about, and you actually said trifecta within your speech. I thought those might have been better speech titles. So it tied in. I had no clue you were working on, you were going to talk about motivate. So I didn't get that until you start talking throughout your speech, because I was trying to figure out, what were you talking about, right? Because I was looking for something about when a plan comes together. So what does this have to do with planning? So I think if you switch that title a bit and you work on tying your title to the message, that would help us follow you more. Then it says to challenge yourself. Hope is not a plan. I challenge you to use a different word, because you are preparing to speak professionally. And a lot of your examples was, hopefully we get this, and hopefully that, and hopefully, but your title was, I love it when the pen comes together. But hope is not a plan, right? And so I would like you to challenge yourself on going back to the basics of organizing your speech. You had a lot of great information within your speech, but organize it in a way so that we know what you're going to share. One of the questions that I didn't even hear you say that there were 7 ways to motivate. I just started writing things down because I was trying to figure out where you were going with your speech. And when Douglas said, I heard 7 ways, and I was, oh, okay, I heard several ways to motivate. And I just started writing what you were saying because I didn't know if it would tie in later on. So just having your speech more organized in a visual way, and even tell us, hey, I'm going to talk about some ways to motivate. So we're looking for those ways. And we know, and you could even use your fingers for gestures. Hey, I've already talked about 3 ways. They were 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to follow on with these just to keep us in the flow so we can follow what you're saying, because you had a lot of stories interspersed in your speech. So in conclusion, right, I really liked how you told us a little bit about how motivation applied to you in this, in how being in various different clubs motivates you to really learn and develop yourself. And the fact that you love the law of empowerment, which gives your subordinates, I use that word, power to use the skills that they have. And that you just share different stories with us. So I really liked how you did that. So we really got a clear understanding of each of the aspects of motivation. And you used real life examples with the club and with members to help them get involved in your speech. So with that, I conclude my speech and I call our general evaluator to the front. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you. And now to elevate our knowledge and vocabulary, correct? Miss Warda Amin.
All right, good evening. I had to write that down. I did not hear filler words. I think I just said it off.
At least you heard it.
You did not hear them.
Usage error or pronunciation errors. I love it when a plan comes together. I love that title. I really do. Because I love it when a plan comes together. Some of the great effective words or phrases, 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. I only got 4, motivation, money, praise, responsibility, Robert, were some of the ways to motivate people. I did get the question, did your predecessor tell you that the division director would have more responsibility than the area director? Did she or did Robert tell you? So I got that one. You need someone to believe in you. You will end up doing a lot more than you thought you would do. That's true. If I could pay you, I would pay you $50,000 a year. I have to contact Philip Woody. Philip Woody. Yes, I have to see him right now. Can you read my writing? Douglas recognized for 100 cc's. Thank you for bringing that out. That's such an accomplishment, Douglas. Congratulations. Okay. Oh, let me see. Something about my job is boring, but it pays the bill. My wallet was running low, and I understand that completely. 1212 was made for me. Little numerology here. Keisha, I pity the fool. Yes. Diana said the intro should prepare the audience for what you plan to talk about, tying the title to the message. Hope is not a plan. I've heard that several times. Keisha, elevate our knowledge. And those were the things I captured, but a lot of wonderful things were said this evening. And the word of the day, don't let me forget that, because Laverne used it several times. I have at least 2 Laverne.
Yes.
And I have Diana for 1.
And
Two for
You
Diana.
said one
And
earlier.
she had said-
Okay. Was
I
that
think I
it?
said
Do
it
we have a
before she
tie?
Oh,
Anybody breaking a tie?
That's what she missed that.
Okay, that's it
She got the one
for the
earlier.
word of the day. All right, thank you. Mary, Ms. Ward.
And now it is time for my general evaluator's report. We started on top. That was actually quite good, even though we didn't have our speaker and or some other people. But we started on time, and that's definitely a positive. So kudos for us for that. While we were waiting, we did discuss things like computers and phones, and it was educational session before we got to the formal educational sessions. That was good.
I gotta do some more.
Membership. As VP of Public Relations, I have been posting on Facebook. Have y'all been seeing these posts?
Do we have a group? I'm not
We
in
do.
the group.
We do have a group,
Okay.
Midlands Leadership Toastmasters. And I actually don't recall seeing Jessica. Usually she puts out blasts, but I don't recall her doing that this month. Thank you for the joke of the day, Miss Laverne. That's a very good one. I thought you were going to go into a how did the chicken cross the road type situation, but that was really good. We haven't had our business meeting yet. Are we going to have a business? Okay. Toastmaster today, yes, very upbeat. Thank you, Miss Laverne, for that. I believe the transitions were quite good between different speakers. The table topics were not brief, but they were definitely creative. And I do enjoy your humor, Robert. Introductions. This club does the best with introductions out of all the clubs I'm with. We have a speech for each person introduction-wise, which is 5. So we keep doing that. Speaker, I love it when a plan comes together. Yes. We've said that several times. That's going to be a popular one. Of course, Mr. T, I pity the fool. I'm not thinking of any catchphrases for Murdoch or Face. I still remember the characters from 18. That's kind of sad. But we used to watch it every week. It was like a family thing. So, yes, that was, and the movie was okay. The evaluations, of course, were very thorough. Deanna always does a good job with her evaluations.
I get a challenge.
Timing wise, we're on target, even with a little of a late start. Did we have fun?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Anytime Robert's here.
We made fun.
Right?
We made fun.
Did the program meet the Toastmaster standard of excellence for variety, imagination, participation, and education? All right. Can I have the timers report?
Madam General Evaluator, your evaluator for this evening was 6 minutes and 54 seconds.
Was that me or?
Yes, 6 minutes,
No,
54
that's me.
seconds.
Okay, that's all.
4 to 6 minutes. Board's generally, our grammarian's report was 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And the GE report was 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
All right. And that was everybody.
Too long. No, one long. The others were on top within time.
All right. Thank you.
I'm back.
All right. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
She's a DPM. She's rusty because she's been gone a while.
I would like to return control back to our Toastmaster today, Miss Laverne.
Get back to the agenda here. This is still, did you want to grab this? Is it still recording? Okay. I ran out of space on your phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see.